Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to some red hot Forza action. This is S-Class. Multiplayer hopper, so you know there's going to be complete and utter chaos. Off we go. Bernie's Alps. Fantastic start by both those guys. Look at that little thing go! And he just wiped out the Porsche. Wow. I'm in the Celine S7. Early braking because I don't want to drive into anybody. You know what it's like in these hoppers, but I drive into somebody anyway. But still, by Forza standards, that's a clean start. I have a little bit of time to gain here, but doesn't look I'm gonna have to try too hard because apocalypse. Oh no, it's still going. This dude's upside down. And we're still going. What a mess. Anarchy in the Bernese Alps. Okay, 20th. You know, whenever these massive pileups happen, I feel like I always end up in last place or very close to last place. Okay, let's make up some space. Let's make up some places. This guy's got a bit of a bad line. I'm going to go around him. Move to the inside of the Porsche. Kind of on the inside of the Porsche. I'm really not the greatest Forza player. I enjoy Forza, but really I'm not what you'd call a great player. Okay, slipstream. Let's get a new slipstream. But this time, we're going to go around the guy. We're not going to drive into him. Here we go. Brake. Oh no! That was so bad. And the Citroen is speeding across the track. Oh, what did I do? I wiped him out. He braked so early. Why did he brake so early? Stuff him. Let's go. Listen, GTR. I'm going to take him on the inside. Ish. Is this the inside? It's sort of the inside. Fantastic driving by the Celine S7. And well rewarded by the Nissan. And this guy. Thank you. Oh no. Just another day playing in Forza lobby. So this is S-Class, as I said. And when you're playing in the public multiplayer hoppers Forza, the general rule is more power equals more carnage. Usually that's kind of what you end up with. So A-Class, B-Class, C-Class, you know, fairly clean, even the guys who aren't trying too hard. But S-Class and higher, chaos. I'm going to skip ahead a lap, and this is toward the end of lap number 2. And so looks like I'm gaining on this guy. He hasn't got the best line, so I'm going to try and cut really close to the corner here, close to the curb without going over it. Man, that's a lot of ground. That's great. Let's see if I can get on his inside here. He's again taking a wide line, so I'm going to try and get on his inside. Oh, and he's just messed it up. Fantastic. So coming up to the last lap, I'm in 15th place. Not exactly stellar, I admit, but you know, when you've had the complete abortion that was the start of this race, then you know, you've got to make do with what you got. I was about to say I'm going to go for a clean lap, which is what I try and do, you know, at least one lap in the race. But I see I've already got a dirty lap. Why is my cell phone making a noise? Shut up, cell phone. Celine on Celine action. Oh, I got you, mate. On the inside. Once again on the inside. I've said on the inside a lot in this video. And I'm about to undo my talk of clean laps by just smashing into that wall. However, it must be said at the start of this lap, I already had a dirty lap indicator next to my lap timer. Now, why is that? I don't know. I mean, clearly I did something wrong. But, I mean, the lap just started and it was a dirty lap. Was I so shocking in the lap before that I just decided, you're so crap, we're just going to make your next lap dirty too? Maybe. I don't know. So, yes, 14th place. Still not exactly amazing, I do admit. But the thing with these public hoppers is that you're only in control of your own race so much. Especially when you end up in, you know, the back half of the grid like I regularly do. And I know there will be people now who will say, oh, that's because you suck, mate. And, you know, it's probably true. I'm not that great, I admit. But, as that line just proved. But, even when you aren't in the back, and even when you drive really well, you end up around guys who just think it's fun to smash you off. You know, it doesn't matter how good you are, it's going to affect your race. So, oh, can I get a last minute position just before the end? No, no, I can't. You would rather smash me in the wall than give it up. That man truly fights to the death. I commend you, sir, though you are an ass. Right, next race, Spa. I seem to remember this race was cleaner than the previous one, although the first corner is a hairpin. I assume Apocalypse. I thought there was a brief second there in the silence where I thought, am I actually going to get around without being smashed off into last place? No, the answer is no. But, you know, this is Forza. You don't have to work hard to gain positions. Oh no! Oh, sorry. Why is he not ghosted? There are things about this game. I love Forza. Can I just say, I love Forza. I love the way it feels. It feels so fast. That was an epic wipeout. It feels so fast. I like the way the cars control, even though at first I hated it. Once you get used to it on a controller, I'm playing on an Xbox controller, not with a steering wheel. Once you get used to it, it's fun, it's great. Corner cut, but I am gaining. But there are things about the game. Whoa, epic corner cut. Yo. There are things about the game that just don't make sense to me. And one of those things is the ghosting system. It's like the laziest ghosting system on the planet. Yeah, the ghosting system on this game is like that employee who doesn't really want to work, and he kind of just stares at you when you ask him to do something, and eventually kind of trods off, you know, mumbling under his breath. That's the ghosting system in this game. It's absolutely shocking. Can I stay on the track? Oh, almost. I mean, there are races where the entire track is blocked with cars in pandemonium and nobody's ghosted out, except the guys who are facing the wrong way. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. Maybe they feel that that's kind of part of the appeal of the game, is the chaos of it all. Forza is kind of like, now, as I just said, I do love the game. Forza is like a game that tries to be everything and ends up being kind of nothing, don't you think? Like, it's not really a sim racer. Let's be honest, this is not a sim racer. But it's not really an arcade racer to me either, because it isn't, the controls and the way the cars handle isn't easy. So it's not an arcade racer, it's not a sim racer. So what is it? I don't even think they know what they are, really. I don't know. First lap has been not too bad. I've gained some positions. Big group in front. There's one dude right off the track. So, wow, there's more than one dude. I'm getting a whole bunch of places there. 3 places up, from 17th to 9th in 1 lap. Yeah, baby. I would say that's the power of Infinity 43 in a Celine, but actually that's the shocking display of noobs driving cars in Forza, and I'm one of them. All right, lap 2. Clean laps already out the window, so now we're just going for positions. So I had originally actually planned a different Forza video. I wanted to make like I called it the 3-headed monster that is Forza 7. How epic! And I wanted to talk about the different parts of the game that one often sees, like a sort of standard race, very similar to this one, which is what most of the races are like. And then I wanted to look at a league race, which one of the ghosted races, which I know some people aren't a fan of, because it's ghosted. But you know, if you're looking for just the opportunity to race against other people without it being ruined by people pushing you off, then the ghosted races are quite good. And then the last thing I wanted to show there, which I might still actually upload for fun, is a race at the short Rio de Janeiro circuit in R class. It was, I mean, it took like a minute just to get down the first straight because of how bad the start was. I wanted to do a whole video about this thing, and then I realized, you know, the truth is most people, to me, there are 2 types of people to watch racing games. They're the ones who want to watch sim races, guys like Jimmy Broadbent, who have amazing channels where they race sim races and they have endurance races and everything. And then there are guys who just want to watch a game like Forza and they want to enjoy the sort of chaos of it all. And nobody really wants to listen to me talk about the 3-headed monster of Forza 7. So I just decided to can that. So then I just thought, you know what, let's just get in a class, chose S-Class, let's race some races, and let's see how good or how bad it can be. So far, it's been mostly bad, but hopefully it will get better later on. So, I'm in 9th position. I am hoping I can make up some more positions. Maybe one more I can get on this guy, but I think he's a bit too far ahead of me. Oh, he's braked massively. Oh no. Once again, I've been caught out by the over-braking player. And that lap was going well. I mean, it wasn't clean, and I hadn't gained a position, but if I almost gained a position, but sadly not. It all went to pot. So we're going to come home in 12th place. Once again, mediocre, but it wasn't entirely my fault. Surely you can see it's not entirely my fault. 12th place. Let's move to the next race. I'm now in the Porsche 911 1993. This is one of the DLC cars. This thing has more power than it should have. It's an absolute rocket. That guy very conveniently just let me drive through him. That was very kind. So first corner in Sebring can often be complete and utter chaos. I'm through quite nicely, but I got shoved off. Oh, and this car, because it's so much power, it just spins on the grass. Oh, it's so sad. Okay, positive infinity, positive. We're going to make up some positions. This is Forza. We can finish better than 14th. Well, we're already better than 14th. 2 places up. Early braking. Take the turn, not too much on the curb, otherwise you'll spin around. Avoid this curb if you can. Cars all over the place, but try and avoid them. They'll take each other off, thank you. Another few positions gained. That guy's wide. It's 2 guys wide. Another few positions gained. Brake early for the corner. You don't want to hit the barrier like I almost did. Up to 7th. We've gained half the grid already. Last turn before the main straight. And he's hit the wall. 6th place. I think I can get 5th too. This mono is a little bit wide. Yes, 5th position. That is a decent comeback, even if I say so myself. It just goes to show you, Forza lobbies, don't count yourself out. You can make up so much ground if you just stay on track and keep it clean. And I'm barely keeping it clean. Nothing much more happened in that race. I stayed in 5th, so this is just the end of it, as you can see, 5th position. So let's move on to the next one. We're now at Mugello. I'm back in the S7. So here we go. The start line. It sounds like the audio is a little bit out of sync. I'm sorry about that. I don't know when that happened. Obviously something with the recording software went a bit funny. That you just drove into me for no reason. F40 gave me very little space. So just trying to come back on track without causing complete disaster. Like that car flying off. But it always ends up being disaster, doesn't it? It's just cars being pushed wide and everything's a mess. But at least I'm not back in last place. So let's see what we can do on this lap. Oh no, tagged off by I think it's a Lamborghini. It's so sad. Okay, 16th, 15th. 16th. I quite like Mugello. When you get comfortable with it, it's a nice circuit. If you get the corners right, sometimes I get them a bit wrong. But when you get them right, it's a really nice circuit. And it's very flowy and kind of fast. This is the short layout, so we're not going to turn left here. We're just going to keep going straight. Oh, I knocked him off. I'm so sorry. But multiplayer hopper, so stuff you. Deal with it. 13th position. So let's see how this one goes. So I think I'm going to take this opportunity as I move towards the inside once again of this guy. And clean overtake. I'm just going to try and summarize in a nutshell what I spoke about in the Forza video I had originally made, which I've now just canned. And really it was just about the which part of this game I play is determined by what I'm looking for. I know I did say earlier this game is kind of like trying to be everything to ends up being nothing, and what I mean by that is it's not a perfect anything. It's kind of a little bit of everything, and you know the saying, a jack of all trades and kind of a master of none. So if I'm just looking for fun, I go for the multiplayer hoppers like these. And if you come into these hoppers looking for seriousness and clean racing, you're in the wrong place. You're not going to find it here. A lot of these are kids. They bought an Xbox at the shop. It came with Forza, and it's the only game they got, so they play it. They know nothing about trying to race cleanly. They know nothing about how to use the triggers the right amount, depending on how much you want to brake or how hard you should accelerate. They don't care about any of that. They just want to race. So this isn't the place to do that. I find that the leagues are really good for more serious, more competitive racing, and I really like the ghost leagues, the ghost races, the ghost lobbies, where all the cars are ghosted out. So if you haven't checked that out, basically you can't drive into anybody else. Nobody can push you off the track. Everybody's ghosted, so it's basically just comes down to who can get from start to finish the fastest. And it can be boring, I suppose, if one watches it, but when you're racing it, I find it's very enjoyable, because it puts driver against driver, and any mistake you make, it's not because somebody else made you make a mistake. Nobody's driven you off the track. You've only driven yourself off the track. So I enjoyed it for that reason. And the other thing I like in the leagues is the simulation lobbies where damage is on. That one isn't perfect either. You know, I mean, Forza is never going to be perfect, so you're going to have guys driving into you. But at least there, in my experience, it tends to happen a little bit less, which is nice at least. So I tend to go for those if I want to play something that's a little bit more serious. And then in the multiplayer hoppers, that was a very poor turn. In the multiplayer hoppers, I also find that the endurance hopper, the longer one with the one pit stop, generally speaking, the races tend to be a little bit cleaner there. So if you're looking for something that's cleaner, then that's where you should look for them. If you're playing on any of these public hoppers, you know, it's never going to be that clean. It's just not going to be, you know. So that was pretty much what that was about. And as this is obviously, as you've seen, a public hopper, I'm on the 5 laps of Mugello. Really haven't been racing the best lines. I've been trying to be as close to the inside as I can, but I've obviously overdone it quite a bit. I was going to say I want to set a clean lap, so that, because you know, clean laps are really handy, and I'll tell you why in a moment. I see that once again, the moment I cross the line, it's a dirty lap already, so no points. But clean laps are really handy, because if you set a clean lap, it automatically allows you to start higher up. Again, I speak under correction, but as far as I understand, if you have a clean lap in the race that you're in, then you will automatically start higher than anybody else who has a dirty lap when you start the next race. So it can really help you get high up in the grid, and that's a really handy way of avoiding those huge pile-ups in turn 1. If you can get through that turn before the chaos arrives, then you can have a pretty good race. So it can be very helpful to try and set a clean lap. It doesn't help when you start the lap and it's already dirty, and obviously, as you can see, I fluffed this one up anyway, so it didn't quite work. But it's a good idea to always go for them, because it just sets you up for a better race for the next one. So we're going to get to our final race. This is at Sebring once again, but this is the full layout. Still in the Celine S7. I really like the Celine. It's got really good handling, top speed's good. The acceleration isn't the highest, but it's good enough to be competitive, and that top speed is really handy. That you're just going to wipe it out. Wow. But that is going to be thoroughly rewarded with karma. Yes. So 6th position. This race was one of the better ones. It wasn't perfect, but one of the better ones. Got shoved from back there, but I managed to make it through without going onto the grass. So that means I've actually gained a position. I go around the F40 there. So just trying to keep it as clean as I can. So we're in 4th place. Managed to avoid the worst bit. So now we just want to try and keep our position and try and gain on the guys ahead. Early braking into this tight right-hander. It's a very deceptive corner. You've got to be careful. I think the guy behind me has just gone straight off. You can really go quite wide on those curves. They're quite flat, so you can get away with that. But these curves I tend to avoid. I find that they're, you know, if you touch them too much, the car just loses control and you end up skidding away. It's another turn that's quite deceptive. You've got to brake a lot, but it's kind of a fast turn, so you don't need to slow down too much. I always used to slow down too much for that corner, and then faster guys who were behind me would just kind of shove me off or fly around me. This turn tends to catch me out a lot, but I think I got it quite nicely that time around. I feel like I'm gaining on the guys ahead of me, and I've got some space behind. So let's see if we can get some neat corners in a row here. Early braking for this corner, I find this corner to be very deceptive as well. And even there, I've gone wide. I have braked too late. but I've kept it on the track at least. And now we get to the long straight. This is where having a car with really high acceleration is very helpful. Which, as I said, this car hasn't got the highest acceleration, but it's got good top speed. So what you lose at the beginning of the straight, you gain a little bit of it back at the end of the straight. So we're coming to the end now. I find this turn also extremely difficult to get very cleanly. Try and brake early and just cut down my entry speed so I can nail the exit. So here we go. 1 lap down, 1 lap to go. I'm going to go for a clean lap again. This game actually going to let me do it. Yes, this time at least I haven't got a dirty lap indicator next to my timer. So let's see if we can do it. Close to the wall, still clean. One turn down. Sorry, into turn number 2. Really braking, but I want to avoid the curbs. Try and maintain as much speed as I can. A little bit. That was actually alright, wasn't it? Managed to get through and not lose too much time. I'm up in my previous. Well, I guess it makes sense to be up in the previous because that was the opening lap. Feels like I'm not really gaining on the guys ahead though. I don't have the little distance indicator, as you can see. Too much braking for that turn. I have got a bit closer though. But nice pulling away again. Try and floor it through those 2 mini turns. Looks like he's gone off. Should be able to get around. He's outside. And I'm into the top 3. Now we just got to maintain position. I don't think I'm going to get to the leader or second place. Nice clean turn, avoiding the curves, trying to maintain speed. Just touching that one. The tricky turn comes up. It seems to come up very suddenly. Avoided the grass. I've got a little bit of breathing space behind, so I think I've got 3rd in the bag here. Oh, a little bit wide. I think it's okay. It doesn't cost me too much time. Lots of braking this time around. I don't want to go too wide for this turn again. You've got to find that fine line between braking too much and kind of undoing. You know, if you brake too much, you undo the fact that you got the corner right anyway. The lap's not clean anymore, unfortunately, but still got 3rd position. And I think I'll be able to maintain it. He's very close though, so if I make a mistake, it's gone. I think he is gaining. He's got more top end than I have. Oh no, don't push me off. Don't push me off. You bugger. Oh, and I think I can get the power down sooner than he can. Oh, he might let me through because he drove into me. But I'm going to go with I got the power down sooner. Are we going to bring it home in 3rd place? Yes! Podium! In my world, that's an achievement. So just go with me on that. So that has been Forzageddon in S-Class. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to bring more Forzageddon videos in all the different classes and whatever else I can find. As you can see, I'm not the greatest ever, so don't expect lots of fantastic races, but if they do happen, and they do occasionally, I'll definitely put them up too. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Infinity43, and keep it on the racetrack.